No, I think China is China, and I think people often say this when places become successful. You know, we have to. Are we giving up ourselves? Are we losing our identity in modernising, in adopting new technology? There is a case that some cultural critics make that technology actually moulds people and changes them rather than people use the technology. But I think my observation is different. I think if you go to Japan, you don't find people there who are American, even though they have skyscrapers that look rather like the buildings that were first built in New York and Chicago. And I'm fairly confident that Chinese people know who they are. They have a cultural self-confidence. And part of what I'm trying to say in this book is, while I think the party has done a remarkable job in helping people come out of poverty and so on, I think that China itself is bigger than the party, and China's culture is a palpable one, a changing one, but it's not going to change into someone else's culture. I think people are quite capable of adapting, picking up what they want while remaining themselves. China is a particularly individualist place of individuals. One of the things that foreigners, particularly Westerners, seem to get wrong about China is thinking that people march in step. When I watched the opening of the Olympic Games in Beijing, I turned to my Chinese friend next door and said, "What did you think of that?" He said, "It's ridiculous. This isn't China. 2,000 soldiers beating drums in time." He said, if we had a choice, we'd beat each one at a different time. And I have an idea that, Chinese people are individuals, they know who they are, and I think they're quite capable of modernising without becoming someone else. And China's middle class, it's quite an amazing phenomenon. I did a calculation on the basis of households that would be earning $10,000 to $60,000 a year, that every second of every day, one Chinese person is entering the middle class. So we're talking about a lot of people here. You quite often hear in China people saying democracy is impossible in a country this size. And well, that's a case that some people can put up. I don't actually accept this. Having watched, for example, what's happened in Indonesia very rapidly after the demise of Suharto, country of 250 million, it's only 20% of the size. But Indonesia quite quickly settled into a stable democracy with rapid economic growth of a sort that, and sustained, of a sort that actually Suharto was unable to achieve. So, and we look at smaller countries in what I may call, in general term, the cultural Chinese world, like Taiwan, and you can see there's a big appetite, and that's a very successful democracy in many ways. So the party is putting it off. I anticipate that maybe the party may at some stage, not under this new leadership team, and not maybe in my lifetime, but the party may in fact seek to test its legitimacy. It worries all the time about it. It's a big burden for all its successes, for the golden prosperity era. It worries about its legitimacy, and I think at some stage it will start, despite what it said you say about village democracy, and it's put a lot of experiments on ice. It will go back to this experiments, and at some stage it will seek to test its popularity with the people.